All right, Shalom, your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'll jump right into the scriptures. This is Matthew 16 and 24. Then said Yahweh Shai to the disciples, if any man come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So self-denial was a spiritual practice that men of the Lord do. And what self-denial is, it's abstaining from doing uh, too much pleasure or too much folly, too much partaking of so-called me time. You know, there is a balance that you must uphold, but a man of the Lord is going to be in pursuit of discipline. He's going to be in pursuit of spiritual things. And if you really want to be in pursuit of those spiritual things, then self-denial is a must, man. Denying yourself of things, denying yourselves of pleasures, denying yourself of privileges, denying yourself of certain things and situations that the world partakes in. Because discipline is the spirit of wisdom, man. You can read that in the Apocrypha. So I'm going to run that back again. Then say, I was shouting to the disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So it's a painful life, man. That's why Yahweh Shai likened to it to the life of a soldier. For brothers that have been in the military, that military lifestyle, that soldier lifestyle, it's a strict regiment. It's a strict code. And it requires that you self-deny. It requires that you take on hardships for the sake of a greater goal. But I'm going to keep on going. It says, for whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. Whosoever loses his life for my sake shall find it. So saving their life, like giving themselves into pleasures, into the things that profit their flesh. For what does a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And that's the average Jake, man. He wants to gain the whole world. He wants to profit his flesh. He wants to indulge in the things that are pleasant unto him. But the scripture's talking about denying yourself, man. And all the men of the Lord, they denied themselves. They denied themselves certain pleasures and privileges and practices to fulfill the Lord's mission, starting with Yahweh Shai. He denied himself of things. But I'm going to bring a few precepts out, something I was meditating upon. This is 1 Thessalonians 3 and 3. And it says that no man, I'll start at verse, I'll just start at verse 1. So like you said, 1 Thessalonians 3 and 1. So wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of Yahweh, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Yahweh Shai, to establish you and comfort you concerning your faith. So he's going to establish and comfort, by these words, that no man should be moved by these afflictions. For you yourself know that we are appointed thereunto. So the life of the man, the Lord, is a life appointed unto afflictions. And that part of that affliction is self-denial. A pressing together, pressure, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. So difficulty, man. For you yourself know that we are appointed thereunto. So the life of the anointed man, the so-called Christian, which we are the truly anointed, till we have an understanding of this word, it's a life of affliction. For verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass. And before that we should suffer tribulation. So the apostles and elders, man, they constantly tell you, the Gabari constantly brings up, a lot of you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So we got ourselves into what they call the straight gate, which is a path of difficulty. I'm gonna keep on going. It says, for this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, as by some means have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. So your faith is going to be tried, it's going to be tested it's gonna be run. It's gonna be run through the fire, so to speak, man. And the best way to prepare yourself for that is to practice self-denial, to practice refraining yourself from certain privileges, practices, and pleasures, man. Uh, and it's all done in balance. And you know when your spirit, if you're overindulging in certain things and you're not paying your full reverence unto spiritual things, you know that your spirit will tell you. Your spirit will bother you. Your spirit will be uneasy. Your spirit will be troubled. That's the spirit speaking to. And if you keep on ignoring that spirit, then pretty much you're over with, man. So this is a very serious thing, a very scary thing, man. I'm gonna get Hebrews 11 and 24, an example of the life of affliction, the life of self-denial that is given to the man of the Lord to walk. This is Matthew 11 and 24. And it says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. He gave up a high position. He gave up his high position in the so-called world, to follow after truth, which didn't benefit him if you look at it from the outside view. They probably like, why are you giving up this great position? You're giving power and riches and wealth. But he did that in the act of self-denial and of act of submission to Yahweh. And it's not always going to be an easy task for you to undertake. That says, verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So he chose to suffer affliction. He chose the straight gate. He chose self-denial when he could easily been in comfort. Esteeming the reproach of Yahweh greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. And we know that our self-denial and our forsaking of our own selves and our giving ourselves as a living sacrifice will recompense great reward. That penny, that crown, most high willing, we are those men. By faith, he forsook Egypt. And that's what we got to do. We have to forsake Egypt. We have to forsake this world. Be ye holy and separate. Not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who was invisible. Through faith, he kept the Passover and sprinkled the blood. He destroyed the firstborn and should touch him. So he shows obedience, man. And with obedience comes self-denial. That was clearly explained by Yahweh Shai in Matthew 16 and 24. I'm going to get 1 Peter 4 and 1, I think it is, or 12. We'll find out. Yeah, for as much then as Yahweh Shai has suffered for us in the flesh, because he did self-denial. He denied himself of certain things. He had the power in his hand and his might to do whatever he want, but he chose to suffer for us. It says, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. So we should have the same mentality, man, that sacrificial mentality of submission to the Most High. But that's exactly the example that he gave. For he has suffered in the flesh, has ceased from sin. So suffering in the flesh, denying your fleshly urges, will make you strong in the spirit. To be effective, to have been effective, feel to experience on the go in a good sense, to be well off in good case, and bad sense of a body of a sick person. Suffered in the flesh. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. So there's a difference, man. If you either living to the lust of men or the things that the privileges and pleasures of the world, of what men like to do, the self-indulgence of this world, the mentality of self-indulgence, or you're submitting yourself to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's not always easy for the flesh to undertake, because the flesh wants to do different things in the spirit. That's why Yahweh Shai said the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So this constant battle is a constant fight. It's a constant kicking your own ass, man. To put it plainly, you got to kick your own ass. You got to be hard on yourself. It says, for the time past of our life suffices to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. We walk in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquets, and abominable idolatries. So we did whatever the fuck we wanted to do. We indulged in every pleasure and every comfort, in every privilege that we could undertake for ourselves. When we were in the world, we were sinners. But that's when you come to the truth, you shouldn't have that same mentality. Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them the same acts of right, speaking evil of you. And then when you quit those circles that you used to run around in, those circles of folly, they talking shit about you, man. So self-denial, separation is a lifestyle of the man of the Lord. What's that? I'm gonna get 1 Peter 2:11. I'm gonna close it out. This is 1 Peter 2:11. Says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul." So there's a fight, man. There's a fight. Fleshly lusts, carnal lusts, giving to desires and pleasures, not self-denying yourself, wars against your soul. So who's gonna win? You don't want to have a weak soul, a weak spirit, and let your flesh be strong and overtake you. But that's a sure way for destruction, man. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, wherein they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify the power in the day of visitation. Submit yourself to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be the king or supreme. We know we do that as pertaining to the law, statutes, commandments, as unto governors, unto them that are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers, for the praise of them that do well. For so was the will of Yahweh, that ye well doing, ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, and as free, not using your liberty for cloak of malicious, but as servants of Yahweh. Just because you're allowed to have women outside of more than one woman, multiple women, it's not always wise to do so, man. That's just an example. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear Yahweh, honor the king. Servants be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to good and gentle, but also to forward. For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward Yahweh and their grief, suffering wrongfully. So the Lord looks at that self-denial, Salakia. The Lord looks at that self-denial, that putting yourself and denying yourself of privileges and pleasures. He looks at that. He looks at that as a sign of what's that? That's commendable to the Most High. So this speaks of a mentality that we need to develop as we grow as men in the Lord in His truth. But with that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Most High will and hope was edifying. Was that I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.